Salutations, viewers, I'm Sir Bookwriter, and I'm on a race against the calendar to beat all 96 of my 200cc time trial runs before the year ends. Last time, we closed down SNES Rainbow Road, and now we're headed to Track 85, Los Angeles Laps. LA Laps is the first track of the Cherry Cup, released in Wave 5 of the Booster Course Pass. Not only is it a city track, but it's also a true bona fide section track. This is also the only tour city track I've actually been to in person. Growing up in Southern California and living there for over 20 years, was bound to visit at some point. Let's see how well they recreate the place that's close enough to my old stomping grounds. There's not a lot in terms of record history. Zay dominated in the early goings, fighting off the likes of Technical and Xylix. Alberto arrived in October, and the two have traded back and forth since. Alberto is the one that currently sits at the top, so, like always, let's watch the run. Santa Monica Pier is our starting line, and it sees Alberto off with the start shroom. Alberto does an SMT around this first corner, starts another drift off the ramp, and releases an MT onto the beach. Alberto releases one more SMT, then goes onto the skate ramp and tricks over the rock pile. Here we see yet another case of a stupid invisible wall, as Lakitu was not in a good mood when designing this track. Alberto goes just barely around the invisible wall, lands in a drift, and shrooms under the pier, chaining that into a UMT. Alberto does a small corner cut here, and then around the next corner he goes wide for these 2 coins. He holds unnaturally long for an SMT, hops to realign, then SMTs again to end section 1. A bit of snaking occurs in these narrow streets to start off section 2, and then Alberto does an MT trick off the glider ramp and flies over Evader Field. Dodger Stadium is isolated up on a hill, so there's no way that's what this stadium is representing. Alberto snags 3 coins from the baseball, does an SMT upon landing, and hops through this grass. This is another example of an off-road hop. Alberto manages to input his hop the frame he touches grass, thus he keeps all his speed. This next section is really awkward. Alberto MT tricks in, but doesn't have room to really do anything, so he just slides and tricks out. The trick boost from entering has long since expired, so this isn't a Kusan trick. Returning to the regular streets, Alberto drift tricks off the boost ramp, starts another drift, and enters the final section. Section 3 has a bunch of oil drills that can get in your way, but they're not a problem for Alberto, who releases the SMT he was holding. He realigns with a quick MT, then does a UMT around the U-turn. Opting to avoid the glider ramp, Alberto just drives straight past the oil drills, MTs to the left, and then SMTs out of the oil field. The final shroom is used through this first grass patch, and Alberto holds his UMT until the curb. Using it as a ramp, Alberto flies over the second grass patch, does an SMT after landing, and then squeezes in one last MT before the line. And hey, it's been a while, but we're finally at another track with a personal history segment. For the track itself, this is the one I played when Wave 5 first released. As a SoCal native, I felt it was my obligation. I managed to get into the worldwide top 10 pretty easily, too. What was fun about this track was all of the other Americans playing as well. At one point, 9 of the top 10 were from the US. I fell off pretty quickly, though. I was going through some things, and improvements just weren't coming like I wanted. Plus, I had a massive vacation to prepare for, so that deservedly occupied more of my attention. So that's it for my history with the track, but how about the location? Well, there's a disappointing lack of in-and-out, so it's automatically a 0 out of 10, but aside from that, it recreates that area surprisingly well. I say that area because encompassing all of Los Angeles into one small Mario Kart track would quite literally be impossible. It's likely a similar case for Tokyo Blur. I've seen a lot of criticism towards the oil field section in particular, saying it's out of place or not Los Angeles. And to that I say, have you ever been there? Take a drive down La Cienega Boulevard or visit the La Brea Tar Pits. These things are everywhere. The lack of an actual downtown LA and the oddly misplaced Dodger Stadium are weird, sure, but I think this track covers my city pretty faithfully, even if the Santa Monica Pier was used for the umpteenth time instead of something else. Alright, fellas. It's time for me to head home. Also, it's another Yoshi Pipe Frame track. Is anyone surprised? Actually, this is the first time in the series we've done 2 in a row. So Los Angeles, it's been a while since I played this track. This PR is from early week 1 of Wave 5. And it's not bad for its time, but definitely outdated. Let's just erase it. Invisible wall. I hate it. Okay, I gotta look at how that's done now. Because what's funny is, you used to go around the skate ramp and kind of into the ocean, but you can see that my PR does a little thing where I go up on the ramps. I was just in LA a couple of weeks ago. I didn't go to Santa Monica, which is where the start of this track is. I planned on it, but didn't end up going through. I appear to be down some money. First time going for that Nisk in over a year. Oh. Well, that's surprising. That's not. Okay, I didn't lose that much time from that. I arguably lost more time from missing the MT. No, 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 no! Oh, flop. Flop on a number of levels. Oh. However, this proves to me that I can do a lot better than this time. Oh. That hurt. That hurt a lot. It's only been 40 minutes as well. This is so doable. Are we for real right now? Oh, that's unfortunate. That's fortunate. That was a bad. Wall. Oh, come on. Help! That last little bit, the curb hop and the recovery afterwards, is the only thing I'm struggling with at this point. My trick button didn't work. Alright. Honestly, if I had the time to grind this track, I could maybe get worldwide tops. Nice. I didn't choke the ending. That's all you gotta do to win. Is just don't die. It's a neat little almost 0.2 improvement. I think this puts me back in US tops here. Which is saying something considering this track. Now the debate of do I want to keep going. On the one hand, I can improve this time by a lot still. And 2, I want to keep going. But at the same time, the ever-growing, or the ever-dwindling hourglass is making its presence known. Plus, this is one of those tracks where I could potentially just not improve for 3 hours. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here. And then this will be on the short list for tracks to play in 2025. Alright, we're done with LA Laps. Thank goodness. I I'm so tempted to play the track further because I know I can get a much better time and a much better placement on the leaderboards, but I don't have time to get a better time. In the meantime, what are we spending our time playing next? 10. Oh, hey, we got... The words just escaped from my brain. This is Dolphin Shoals. We got another Star Cup track. It's been a while since one of these.